I bet you are better at stress management than you know. And it's very important for us to learn new management techniques, but how about we acknowledge something good that we already do and pat ourselves on the shoulder and say, you are doing a good job. Let's just do more of that, right? Now, just a little disclaimer. The first one, I had difficulty of implementing. Now I'm better at it. And I think you are better at that too, just probably not doing enough, especially in today's environment. Number two, if you're doing that one, I bet there are a lot of people they don't like you. I have difficulty still doing that, okay? And the third one, I think we all do it because we're humans, and I would be very surprised if you don't do. So the key would be to do of that more, right? Okay. So the first thing that I would recommend everyone to do, and you're probably already doing that, so ask yourself, how good are you in setting boundaries? And if you're like, well, I don't even know what am I supposed to look at in my life to determine that. Here's a question. When was the last time that somebody invited you to the event, but you were like in a different place and you like, I cannot come. I'm sorry. I really would love to, but I can't. How about that lunch that you want me to have with you? We'll move to another weekend. Did you have those? Yeah, that's setting boundary. You told other person that I'm here, you are there, I don't think we can meet, so how about next time? And everybody was fine, right? Nobody died. Then, for example, you already know that the friend that you have, or maybe a family member, that as soon as you pick up the phone, they're talking for hours, okay, about how bad their life is, how all the negativity, and you're like sick and tired of that. And then you tell yourself, you know what? I love that person very much. I wish them well, but I'm gonna let that phone ring, and you just don't pick up. Later, of course, you call them and say, "Oh my gosh, I was just so busy. I'm sorry, I missed your call. What's up?" But since they already were, over that, they will not be telling you now for 2 hours how bad the life is because they really needed you that moment. But you had that emotional boundary when you said, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore. So kudos to you. Those are boundaries. Telling somebody that no, you disagree with someone, or you say, I don't like how you treat me. Now, if you think to yourself, I don't think I'm doing enough of that. The good news is you always can start doing them. And I have the video where I talk about 3 must-have boundaries in any relationship. So go check it out, that episode, where I give tips also how to do that. Now, if you realize that there is something that you're really not implementing enough of boundaries in your life, or you immediately thought to yourself, oh my God, this is so complicated. I don't think I can do boundaries. And you feel ashamed because if you will tell other people that no one want to be there, or you express how you feel fear of abandonment, that's totally normal. And I had difficulty with that too. Because you see, I grew up in an environment, like with my dad being alcoholic, I had no idea what's going to happen to me any day. I mean, of course, my mom kept the house running, but the stress levels were always keeping me on alert. And I also learned from an early age that I need to people please. I need to be very nice. I need to always perform well. And because I didn't feel enough love and validation, I realized that I have to be useful. So when I became useful and a good child, then I felt like I will be fed and kept. I mean, I know when you are a child, you always fear about that. Now, when I'm an adult, I'm looking at this, I'm like, of course, my parents will be still feeding me. I mean, what was I thinking? But when you're a child, that doesn't look that easy. So then you grow up in this people-pleasing environment, and then you go on people-please other people in your life. And that's why it can be very difficult to really set boundaries. And I can talk about that forever, but if you give yourself a point for setting boundaries already in your life, I will recommend you setting more of those boundaries. And go check out that video. I'm talking about the 3 emotional boundaries that you need to have in any relationship. And I give the tips, explanations why you may have difficulty with doing that, and all that the good stuff. Now, the second one. I still have difficulty with this one. So the second thing that you might already doing, and how is to find out. So let's say there is a conversation where a group of people is just sitting around and they talk about negative things. For example, right now there is in US a very big shift among people, who is on the right, who is on the left, and those people do not get along. And I've already seen it with my own eyes. There were quite a few friends groups that split in half, or a few people just split off because they're like, well, this is just not our values and goals, so why would be friends here? And what happens is there are quite a few situations where maybe you have a group of people where somebody really gets in a place where you don't feel comfortable. Now, if you stood up and left the room and you thought to yourself, I don't want to be here because I don't want to listen to those people, and I'm going to leave the room. This means you just stood up and left. Yes, you abandoned the situation, but in a way, you removed yourself from that situation. That is another great stress management technique that you can do. And I'm talking about not like abandoning any situation that you're in that becomes suddenly stressful and you're like, I'm not going to deal with you, you cross my. No, but realizing it that you're in some situation that makes you feel uncomfortable, maybe is not really with your goals and your values. Somewhere, maybe you don't feel safe. For example, maybe you'll be in some party and you already see there's a lot of people intoxicated. You're like, I'm gonna grab Uber and I'm gonna take myself home. And I don't care if my friends still love having fun. They have their own choice and they can enjoy that time. But I am going to remove myself. I want to go to bed, and here I am. So all those situations right now that I'm telling you may look like, oh, you're not being nice. You're not being people pleaser. You're not being the part of the group. But it is very important for us to realize, especially right now, this moment in life, that we need to take our side. We need to have this moment when we ask ourselves, what do we really want? How that makes me feel? And, if that already triggered you and you say, oh, well, this is just being so selfish, that's the problem. We've been told from generation to generation that we need to behave and we have no right to say how we feel. And the sad part is that's really not helping us. It's working against us because we become those people that are so easily manipulated on the basis of fear. So next time, when you, let's say, in a situation when you feel not comfortable, when you feel that you're being, abused emotionally, verbally, even physically, or you see that this is not the people that make you feel good, you need to remove yourself from that group. And you could be physically standing up and leaving a group. You could be really going, and here you go, here's the tip. How about you make yourself right now a list of people that you hang out the most and ask yourself how they make you feel. If they make you feel happy, you're supported, then sure, keep those people around. But if you're not feeling good about that, but you feel like I have to be there because they're my family, they're my friends, I've been with this friend for 25 years, I know them from my elementary school, that is not the reason why you still need to keep those people around. Time's changing, you are changing. It's time for us to stand our ground and say, what is good for me? And why? Because yes, somebody can say, how selfish of you. You're not thinking about anybody else. No, 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 no. Here's the deal. If you help yourself, if you're healthy, if you're strong, if you are self-confident, you can achieve things that you want in your life. Also, you be healthy because, as you know, body keeps the score. All of that self, invalidation, loathing, we have low self-esteem when we listen to all those people that telling us that we're not good enough, and worse, we tell ourselves that we're not good enough. This is not really working in your favor. This is not really having boundaries with those people or with yourself. And yes, I'm talking here about boundaries again. But you have to leave that kind of set of mind because let's just face it. And I have a lot of clients who come to me and they say, "Oh, I have a business and I have kids," and I tell them, "Okay, well, you stressed out, burnout is not really helping you. So, would you mind doing other things that I tell them to do?" And they immediately tell me, "No, I don't have time for this. I need to take care of all those people." Here is the question for you now that you can need to ask yourself right now. If you will not take care of yourself and you will become sick and you will be in the hospital, who is going to take care of those people that you care so much? Whom? So it is beneficial for you to take care of your own management, of your stress, of your energy, of anything else It has to do with you. So you will be strong enough that you can be there for other people. Do you want to be there for your friends, for your family, for your kids, for all the community that you love so much? Then you need to start taking care of yourself first. This whole thing of, well, self-care and just so selfish, and who said that? Those are the people who say, oh, how selfish of you to think about yourself. You need to think about me. Do you think that's actually selfish? That's actually the definition of being selfish. That's way not what it should be. So how about we start having more boundaries, honoring our own feelings, and really asking ourselves, what are we going to do from now on? What you will not be standing out for anymore? Where you will stand up and leave? What will you say? My life matters. My needs matter. I am who I am, and I will accept myself. And it starts with you accepting yourself, that there's nothing wrong with you. It's time to clear that fear and acknowledge that since you're the only one, you have no value. Okay? Meaning you priceless. You cannot set value on you. You're already amazing as you are. Okay, I can talk about that for hours, you can say. The third thing that I would be surprised if you're not doing it, and I do all the time, it's doing this. Yeah, that's how our body regulates the nervous system. That's how we help our body to relax. And when we do this, we activate the nerve, vagus nerve. Okay, so let's just breathe in right now, and then let go your this big huge with the voice. I hope you did that with me. If not, you can repeat again. But does that make you feel better? Yes, I know. It makes me feel better all the time. So I bet you're already doing this without really noticing it. So now I want you that you will notice that more. And better yet, when you feel stressed out, you will do that on purpose. Okay? It's an easy fix, but it helps all the time. Because when you breathe in a lot, it gives you oxygen to your brain. And then when you let that air out, you activate vagus nerve, and that helps to regulate your emotions and your anxiety. Definitely, there are more tips and tricks. That's why I have the whole podcast about that. So go check it out, my previous videos. And of course, if you need help to have a better, healthier life, I'm here to support you. And go register to my website, Be Amazing You, and grab that session with me.